These guys I haven't encountered as much. Oh, come on. There we go. That was a pretty good effort. Not going to go for that central chest just yet. There we go. None of that Blizzard 5. Yeah, that mace is really doing well. Just become one of the highest damage output people. Warp tone, nice. Wow, 279. That's probably like the strongest single hit we've seen. That's crazy. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Guy again is very MP efficient here. It's going to go up to level 2 soon, but I think it's worth it for now. Yeah, it did go up to level 2. Okay. Let's go for it. First of all, I'm going to quick save, actually. Oh! I'd heard there was a monster guarding Egel's torch. Now I've seen it with my own eyes. It's a red soul! Okay, so this was the boss battle, I guess. Gotta assume... I'm gonna shell this time first. Gonna blink. Okay, that's a bit of a rapid start. Ooh. Well now. So it looks fiery, but heals from ice. But yeah, it seems like the power stacks very slowly when you do it across multiple characters. Always worth going for a silence, you never know. Yeah. So high defense custom, it seems like for boss battles they... Oh, it heals from all elements. Wow, okay. Well, that leaves me a very little choice. Unless... Wait... Did it work or did it not work? What? Why didn't silence actually silence? Yeah. Weird. I mean, it's the animation for silence worked, and then I saw a green 12. I'm like, what? Does that mean it inflicted silence? Because he just used Scourge immediately afterwards, so... No? I don't know. Weird one. Unsure what I can really do. Let's try doing that. I bet it's going to heal from reducing MP as well. This son of a bitch. I mean, it might qualify as an undead, honestly. We'll see. Yeah, okay. Let's try to cure it, see what happens. If it heals from literally absolutely everything, then that's a bit lame, but we'll see. But at least we have a boss battle that hasn't been over in 20 seconds, which is nice. Yeah, heals from everything. Okay. I don't really know what to do. So it's kind of the opposite this time. They're like, well, we want you to use physical attacks. And that's the only choice you have. At least we can use our MP to heal instead. Oh, nice. Good job, Gordon. But yeah, it seems to be Maria that's putting in the work here. The rest of our guys can't get anything done. So I think I'll rely on Ffii a bit more to heal this time. Let's see how much a 2 plus a 3 does. Oh, okay, it can out-heal the... That's not bad, you know. So weirdly enough, it might be Maria that gets the job done for us here. Again, got to be careful not to completely drop my MP to 0, because I still have things to do once this is defeated. Yeah, we've got a decent amount of HP for now, so I'll just wait it out. There you go. Okay. 18 kill. There you go, Eagle's Torch. So there's one chest left, correct? Yeah, just have to make it to the middle of the room. I mean, it looks for all the world like a monster chest, but we'll have to see. And then we can teleport out of here. But it was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, it's trying to encourage us to use magic again. It seems like the bosses are basically like, oh, have you been learning magic? But with this one, it seemed to block every magic-related possibility. So, fair enough. I was just confused about the silence because it looked like it hit. And I was like, ah, yes, there you go. I kind of solved this boss and then nothing happened. Well, it healed something as well, which I wasn't expecting. Can she do, because she's got the special weapon, can she still do good damage? Maybe she can. No. It has to pretty much be Blizzard magic. So I have just about enough MP, I think, to get this dungeon complete. This should be enough. Nice. We've got 13,000 odd gil, so let's just heal up here. Yep. That doesn't sound good. Is it worth a sleep? maybe. Yeah, it's too fast. Nothing I could have done about that. Yeah, it survived that too. I don't think sleep has hit a single time yet. Okay, that's something. Okay. Honestly, I think now just go for it. Should be able to take them out before they get a move. Yeah, there we go. Okay. What do we got? Golden armor. Wow. The first one of its kind. I'll give it to her. She deserves it. Golden armor resistant to poison. Sweet. Okay. Then I believe that we are done here. So, now we teleport the hell out of here. And then we go grab the flame. Sweet. So I'll save first. Nice. There we go. Guy being up to a massive 728 HP is impressive. He's really quite far ahead of the rest. Okay. Let's have another look at this now. The Sunfire blazes brightly. Let's get the torch. And there it is. That's it. Done. But first, I think for now, physical hits. That's the sound of an airship. Nice. They just take us straight back. Okay. I do like those little touches. Oh, okay. Guess that wasn't their aim, perhaps. Shit. Did we get on the airship and then get captured, or we never made it on? I can't tell. Shit, we didn't make it on. Damn. That ain't good. So yeah, we will have to track back here. We don't have a huge amount of MP, but we're quite OP for the area in general, so I'm not too worried. I still think self-destruct is one of the most, well, destructive moves that we can face, so let's just try to deal with these guys first. Good stuff. It's going to be like another 10 encounters to get back now, but that's just the way these games are. I think as long as it's like 2s and 3s and 4s and stuff, it's not so bad. I think anything over 4, that's when it starts to drag out. So when you have like the high encounter rates that are common to these like older titles, plus you have encounters that you can't take out in like one set of turns even when you're OP, and you just have to wait. Like these ones, that's when it starts to get a bit more, like, just waste your time more, basically. Because obviously, you can't always just spam the MP, and sometimes with spells, like, at least in this game, when you spread out spells, it's a really heavy penalty, like, more so than some of the other games in the series. So in between sessions, that's something I did research as well. It's quite interesting. One thing I always notice about these like really old games is just that less people in general are playing them in this day and age anyway. And I think those that are playing them, less and less of them are kind of interested in the deep mechanics or anything like challenges, that kind of stuff. You almost never see like challenge material like these really old games and stuff. And so I think the amount of resources and people actively investigating like what's going on under the hood and all of the mechanics is quite rare. And so for this I was looking into like what happens when you cast multiple buffs and that kind of thing. And it's hard, like I couldn't find like in like, I don't know, 5 minutes of Googling, I couldn't find like a nice just kind of in-depth FAQ / guide that really just breaks down all of the mechanics for like buffs and how they stack and what happens when you do it on multiple people and all that kind of stuff. And so what I did see was that they do stack, but it's up until like a cap. Obviously you're not going to just keep doing it and you get like a basically an infinite level of defense or magic defense. But also what I saw was that when you choose to spread it across multiple characters, I think it was like a factor of, it was basically like 75% less effective, which obviously kind of makes mathematical sense. And so then I think there was like another factor involved as well. So basically when you put it all together, if you truly want the most effective buffing, you should do it like one person at a time. But if you just want like a general like improved defense and magic defense and just get on with the battle, then it's better to just kind of do it on everyone. Maybe do like 2 spells on everybody instead of trying to do 4 spells individually. That's going to take more time and more MP and that kind of thing. But as I say, I couldn't find like a super nice like definitive set of like mechanics for that stuff, and that's just how it goes with a lot of these older games. I think it's extra tough as well because there's so many different versions of the older ones, all the re-releases, all the different ports, and a lot of them do have slightly different mechanics as well, so knowing which one applies to which version of the game is also a bit difficult sometimes. But yeah, I think again we've got to be heading back towards the princess. I don't think there's much to do here, but we will rest. Definitely should get our MP back. Yeah, whatever. Nice 14,500 gil. I'm not going to buy anything right now. Maybe just some items, actually. Yeah, we didn't use any of our stock for this, which is good. I'm just going to keep, just in case things start to get really difficult, I'm going to try to just have some of this stuff, like, saved up as I go. Nothing too crazy, but just spend some of this gil that I have. I think like the mithril weapons were like 400 to 700, so I should have plenty of gil for all of that. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I'm not going to spend any more. And we will have some more encounters along the way, so... That's the one good thing, it does keep your gil count relatively high. Right, so now that I have this again, I can start to... So again, with this, you have to assume that the higher the level this is, the more chance it has of actually working. And casting sleep on one enemy versus... Basically, like these status effects have not been working too great. But let's just cast it on one instead of everybody and see how it changes here. Actually, let's get this up to level 4 as well. I think especially for these kind of battles, because they're already formalities, they're just a nice little chance to work on a few extra things. Yeah, Furion didn't even get to use sleep. But again, if you've got 7 enemies, let's say, and you want to put a few of them to sleep, or like all of them to sleep, so, well, you're not going to cast sleep 7 different times and wait for the turn to come around and stuff, so you just have to take your chance and do it on all of them. But if there's one specific one, I guess, of that bunch that you want to put to sleep, then kind of just throwing it onto all of the enemies anyway and just thinking, yeah, maybe they'll get hit is probably not the best idea. I'm just trying to think, in like Final Fantasy games, has there been a game where every Final Fantasy game tends to have, like, especially the more kind of earlier kind of open worldy sort of ones, you go back and forth to the same areas quite often, you go through the same parts of the world, but obviously the enemies always remain the same. And one thing I remember from games like, let's say, I don't know, Resident Evil, right? There's times where there's a certain storyline point, and after you progress through there, when you go back through the same area or the same streets, the enemy formations change, or there's new enemies there and stuff. Is there a Final Fantasy where that happens? Where, like, let's say after you get, like, Eagle's Torch, once you go back through there, like, from here onwards, you don't encounter the same enemies that you encountered before. You encounter stronger ones because the game knows you've been past a certain point. So the enemies within a given area actually change. I feel like I haven't really encountered that. Like, off the top of my head, I feel like they're always different. Maybe in like Final Fantasy VI, when the worlds literally change, then that's a bit more of a thing. But yeah, just off the top of my head, it's not something that's really done in Final Fantasy. It's like an area will always have the same enemies, and as you get stronger, those enemies will just simply become easier and easier. And so the area won't scale up. Like Final Fantasy VIII has a level scaling for enemies, but I don't know. So Cid and his airship are obviously gone. This guy is not saying anything about it, but we need to make the crossing. Again, have to assume we're going to go back to the princess again. So like, even if it's the same enemy, like the level scaling thing I think would have been smart here. So like, let's say at this stage its HP is doubled or something. But it's just not done very often. So I definitely like that they tried that with Final Fantasy VIII, and I think 7 has that for some of the bosses or something, like the ending of 7. I'm not sure. Just double check this bit. Yeah, I assume this is all the same. I'm not even going to bother in here. I'm just going to go straight back. Because I mean, Final Fantasy games, there's some element of they want to keep you playing. I won't always call it like padding as such, but they want to keep you playing. And one way to do that is to make these encounters last longer. Like, as long as they're new enemies, I don't think players would mind. So instead of kind of forcing you to fight the same overworld enemies in the same areas for the entire game, maybe they can change it up a little bit more after certain story points. Anyway, back to business. With these kind of games, especially because the battles are quite repetitive and we're going back and forth through the same areas, it's like, it's a bit of an exercise in kind of musing and coming up with different things to talk about as well, to make the journeys a little bit more fun. Ooh, I think the king might have reached the end of the road. Let's see. The princess felt badly about always sending you out on such dangerous assignments. She thought the least she could do was to meet you at Kashuan Keep on Cid's airship. Ah, shit. Not learn. I don't think there's anything to ask about this, to be honest. Let's just show him the Sunfire. Nothing happens. Please, please rescue my daughter. Well, they're not really giving you anything. How are we supposed to know where the airship went? Just gonna make sure, like, the amount of supplies needed to keep a vessel that size running must be enormous. It will have to set down somewhere eventually. That's interesting. I guess it will be a round of just kind of speaking to people and seeing if anyone will give me a clue. So we already know it's obviously going to set down somewhere eventually, but which direction? I have to assume we're going to start to go west and south, but we'll see. I've just received word, there you go, that the Dreadnought is heading somewhere north of Ffii. Good. Once again, just rewarding you for speaking to NPCs. Well, the princess was captured, and of course this is all your fault too. You blow up the Dreadnought, you couldn't blow your way out of a cloth sack. Well, this guy wasn't this mean at the start of the game, what the Wow, we're getting absolutely roasted by this guy. Is anyone going to be nice to me here? Yeah, it appears the Empire has a supply base far to the north of Ffii. The Dreadnought may be docked there now. Princess Hilda? That's the Sunfire of Kashuan. Indeed. If the Dreadnought attacks again, we're finished. Use that Sunfire to blow up the Dreadnought. You've got to save Princess Hilda. The Princess left on Cid's airship. Yep. I tried to stop the Princess from boarding the airship, but she wouldn't listen. To think she's been captured by the Empire now. Okay, I think for now there's literally no one else to talk to, but we have to go north of Ffii. Now, Ffii Castle was obviously blocked, but another thing that tends to not happen in these games is that equipment doesn't tend to change much in the same areas, like whatever you got at the start of the game. Okay. Wait a minute. There was these guys had the Mithril one, sorry. Yeah. Okay. I think I'll get one more Mithril sword. No one's using knives at the moment. Ancient sword is better than Mithril sword, but the accuracy is 82. It talks about like a curse, but again, I've not really seen it in action. So I don't know, is it worth continuing to roll with it or not? Let's just go double swords for a little while. Yeah, we're starting to definitely get cooler stuff here. I think we're good. We don't need the Mithril gear that much, really. Okay, I'm gonna leave again and see what the best way to do it is. Ffii is over here. I guess maybe now there's a way through, so we'll try our luck. Honestly, again, I should probably keep working on my magic here. And you can defend. Yeah, so even against this singular enemy, it's not working too great. I mean, maybe it's immune. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah, when that ancient sword hits, it hits. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've not seen whatever curse effect it thinks it has. It says it has. So we'll avoid some encounters. This is as close to no encounters we can get. But I will go here quickly. Speak to some NPCs. Well, what's left of them. It would seem the Dreadnought's resupplying somewhere to the north of Ffii. This may be your chance to slip on board. You have to hurry. You have to save the princess. Okay, that's clear enough. Now these guys, again, it was pretty low value stuff here, right? Yeah. Okay. I think we can move straight on. Did we get an MP boost for anybody? No. I'm not going to rest either. No rest for the wicked. So. To Ffii we go. Isuna has worked every time I've used it so far, as long as that someone has the state of ailment that you need. That's the one thing I didn't really look up, but I know, like, Life, for example, we used it with Minwoo, and he had a high-level life spell, and then just brought people back with, like, 5 HP. So I think for some of the stuff, surely it just can't really matter too much if you use it. But silence could be good. So just trying to experiment a little more with this stuff while I still have it. While I have the opportunity against these easy enemies. Like, I mean, it might be the case that for certain enemies they have like a different level of sleep needed to even activate it somehow. But yeah, as you can see, just getting stasis to hit is very difficult. But Sap's working at least. There you go, Fury and Sleep level up. That's something.